Yes, England have done it. We are through to the last 8 of the World Cup, and that was one of the most incredible games of football I've ever seen. And we always knew it was going to be a late one. Obviously, one AM kick-off in the morning, then moved back to 2 AM because of the weather, the storm, the thunder, and rain, and heavy rain in Mexico City. And by this point, it's 2 AM kick-off UK time, and obviously stayed up for the game. Very, very tired today, but no regrets at all. I'm so glad that I stayed up for that game. That was one of the most unbelievable games I've seen, and what a performance from England. We're going to get on to all of that, but first, there's been so much build up to this game. I can't remember quite a story surrounding a game at a World Cup quite like this one. The game initially being pulled back to 7 PM on Friday night, and a lot of people in the UK very happy about that, but certainly not good for the teams, not good to suit Mexico and their fans, doesn't suit England, the team really, who was sort of preparing for the game. And there's so much that goes into this. This is where we really see, it's these type of games where you really see the sort of the other side of the game, how much sort of goes into the preparation for a game, when the players eat, when the players train, and how they, depending on when the kick-off time is, everything you do like on the build up to the game, and how that can affect things. But I always had faith in the England team, in the setup, in Tuchel and his staff, that they'll be able to manage all of the environmental factors surrounding this game. And I think and the players as well, top athletes. I had always had belief that we would come out on top in this, and wow, I think we've maybe proven some people wrong there as well. We've maybe that really is, I think there's a performance to be proud of from an England point of view. I think we should be so proud of the team there. I think that's probably one of the most, that might be the most proud I've ever been of an England team after a game, and we can win this World Cup after that. I believe that now, and I don't want to get go too much into this, oh yeah, we're going to win or whatever, but I'm not saying we will win. I'm saying I think we can. I don't see a reason why not. I think there's a lot of teams left in this tournament that can do it, but I think, like anyone else, we have every right to believe that we can do it, and back the team all the way now after that, because I think so many questions about this England team were answered yesterday. So many questions that were put to us about how we manage this, how we manage that. I think that they were answered yesterday, and I know this has obviously happened before, even just in more recent years, like Euro 2020, we beat Germany in around the 16, so the big teams have gone out, we're at home, we're like, yeah, this is it. Loads of people saying this is it now, this is our trophy, and then we get all the way to the final and lose. I know this is, we can't try not to get too carried away, but equally I think this is the time to celebrate that. But that last night was incredible, and I've never, I've been a football fan pretty much all my life. I've grown up watching football, and I've never quite had an experience like that in terms of the kick-off in the middle of the night, and just everything surrounding that game. It was just, and the actual game itself, that was just unbelievable. And yeah, we've done it, we're through, and there was so much talk around this game, and there was so much so this is going to be the ultimate test for England, not just the match itself, all the factors surrounding it. We see that Mexico, their fans did the exact same thing they did to Ecuador's fans, trying to cause to Ecuador's players as much disruption as possible. All the noise outside the hotel where England are staying, all the whatever they're doing, all the noise, and then you've got everywhere the players went, pretty much the fans are there trying to cause disruption to Mexico fans. It's just absolutely crazy, and I think I think the Mexico fans this tournament has been fantastic. The passion has been fantastic, and the commitment, everything has been fantastic. Azteca's got one of the best atmospheres in the world. A huge stadium with the fans there are just magnificent, and that was one of the best atmospheres I can remember in a game I've watched at that stadium yesterday, or today, or early today, or whatever you want to say. But I think there are maybe some fine lines about how far fans should go. But regardless of any of that, let's talk about the actual game itself, because we've already been delayed over an hour. Everyone's up for it still, and it's 2 AM kick-off in the morning, and we get underway straight away, and we already know we're going to be in for one. We're already thinking, oh, this is going to be hard. Declan Rice getting booked like less than a minute in, and we can already see the opening sort of up until our first drinks break. I think we managed the game well. I think we hang on in there, and I think we've literally weathered the storm a bit. because I think what we do, I think we sort of kind of, yeah, we do weather the storm because Mexico, they started quite well. They had some chances early on. I think we got through that period, and I think after that second drinks break, like we did against DR Congo, we come out really well. I think Thomas Tuchel, I think, is utilising them really well to regroup, regather. Obviously, there's been so much controversy around the whole them being there, particularly in a game like that where the environment's not even hot. It's raining, and it's actually conditions that I think suited England as well. But there's been a lot of talk about it because it's become a tactical break and a chance for managers to redo a team talk pretty much. But it is what it is, and if they're clearly going to do it, so teams should look to use it to our advantage. Teams should look to use it to their advantage. If that's what we're doing, I think we have every right to. And I think after that we come out very well again. And I think what is key is that 30 to 40 minute period. I think was where the game was ultimately won and lost. How clinical England were in this period, and this no deadly counter-attacks that we did. They're the ones that's where we. I think won this game, and going 2-0 up there, I think given us a lovely bit of breathing space where you think, okay, we might just be all right now. Well, it wasn't anywhere near as straightforward as that. But I still think that period was key in this game because it gave us that cushion early on. Obviously, the first goal, you see Saka come down the wide and cross it in, and Bellingham's there again. Bellingham, of course, Bellingham and Kane been the standout players by far this tournament. There's been players that have impressed. I think like Gordon, I have to say, the lineup. Okay, so the lineup today in this game was obviously Gerald Quansah starts at the on that position where there's of course been so much talk. There's been so much in the right back position where there's been so much talk. There's been so much who's going to play there. Rhys James not in training. He was fit enough for the bench, not fit enough to play in the game or whatever. Declan Rice can play there, but we want him in his proper position in the midfield. Jed Spence, let's be honest, was not good enough against DR Congo. So I thought I wanted Quansah to get the start, and I think to be fair, that we'll come to where it went wrong, but. First half, start of the second half, I thought he played a very good game, and I thought that position wasn't an issue. Particularly, he's going up against Quinones, who's been one of the players of the tournament. But people were really concerned before the game. But I thought he was a good player, and I thought he'll do the job for us. But unfortunately, in the end, there wasn't a red card, which I said I will come to. But so there's 3 changes to 11. That obviously being one of them, and we see his partnership with Constant get here again, and then of course Saka does. Start in this game. He comes in from Manzawaki, and Gordon in from the start, which I think makes a lot of sense. I was desperate for Rashford to start after the group stage. I thought Gordon's not doing it. He was so ineffective in the group stage, but he comes on against DR Congo, and a completely different player off the bench. He sets the goal up, and he was the one he was so important to that win. He was fantastic in this game as well, and I think he's really just found his form. Next game I think he probably should start again. But of course, Bukayo Saka did not disappoint. He crossed the ball in. Bellingham puts us 1-0 up, and this was a massive goal. By this point, thinking, yes, this is brilliant. We've sort of weathered the storm in that first 20 minutes for Mexico. We've come out after this drinks break on top. We're the better side. We've got ourselves in 1-0 up in a really, really good position. Now we can try and manage this game. Because my fear was always going behind. I think Mexico only not letting a goal so far in the tournament, and they've been near perfect attacking wise. They've been quality as well. So that was always the right. I think if we went behind early, it'd be very, they'd have momentum with them. Even if we were to equalise, they'd still have, I feel, confidence in them to be able to go again. But I'm really impressed with the second England goal because we pressed really high and we pressed really well. We forced them into mistake and we capitalised instantly. Gordon does so well, and again we see Bellingham again. It's just an absolute incredible period in this game. Well, at this point we're 2-0 up. Kane gets it on the plate for him. Bellingham slots it home, and it's again. At this point 2-0 up, and we're cruising really in a game that at that point had been really tough still. We're cruising in terms of the score, but of course there's a bit of a twist. Mexico do not give up. We still knew there was in this time, we still knew that they could come back, and the way this tournament has been, the way this sort of whole atmosphere was in this stadium, we knew that if they get any sort of look in, the momentum could completely shift like that. But I think we handled this so well. There's one chance that they don't get in. Of course, there's the free kick though, and Quinones does get his goal, which has now equalled him as the top scorer of World Cup, the most goals at the World Cup for Mexico, like the most goals in the tournament. Mexico as well. They're so desperate to get beyond this stage, get to the quarterfinals, and as well by this point, you know, they finished that half so well, pushing for that equaliser. And Pickford, he makes some big saves. And Pickford, okay, he might not have had his best tournament, but he more than delivered in this game. And you know, he made every player on that pitch was crucial to this win in that second half. But you know, going in at half time 2-1 up, very, very pleased, very, very happy with how it was going. We just knew we would have to manage the second half. That was sort of the key word. We're just going to have to kind of cope with everything they throw at us, because we knew they'd really go for it, and they did. And well, early on in the second half, it looked like it might have gone wrong. Quanz's red card, initially it didn't look like much, but when you see it slowed down, you could see, yeah, it was a red card. He goes in, you know, doesn't really take the ball. It's high as well. I think it's the height of the challenge, I think, was the reason. And I think as soon as it goes to VAR, we knew he was going to send him off. And of course, straight red. Very, very unfortunate. I think with the rules, I think that probably ends this tournament as well, which is a shame, because I don't know what the situation is going to be with the right back position going forward. If Reece James is going to be fit, I certainly hope so. I know Ezri Konsa can play there, and maybe John Stones' fitness doesn't, whether his fitness is 100%, with Restovic Chalobah through the middle. I don't know, but I don't know what we're going to do going forward. But Quanz does have to goes off, which is a real shame, and then we have to sacrifice Bukayo Saka as having a fantastic game to get the extra defender on, to put Stones at the back and put Konsa out on that position. But I think, you know, from here, England, we fight so hard, we scrap for it, and we show a completely different side, a completely new side, a side we've not seen of England so far, to be able to see this game out. Because at this point, Mexico, you know, they're so, I think by when the red card happened, I think they thought, okay, yeah, this is there now for the taking. England with 10 men, but no, we did not let that happen, and we do get ourselves, we win ourselves that penalty. And Gordon, he does so well here. He's brilliant. The way he flies into that, he puts himself at risk. He just completely flies into that, goes for that to win that penalty, and then gets taken down by the keeper. Penalty's given. Kane, of course, as he always does, slots it home. By this point, 3-1 up. I'm thinking, okay, we can do this now. We're 3-1 up. We just have to keep some control here. We just have to keep our heads, keep the discipline, and to manage this game. And we did that. Of course, Mexico did not stop. It was always going to be a fight to the death in this game. And you know, it was always one. I thought, could this be an extra time? Could it be a penalty? It very nearly could have been if things had been different. But of course, they get a penalty themselves. But Jimenez scores, but and then you're thinking, okay, we're holding on now, 1 goal in it for 10 men. It's going to be very, very difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult to commit to moving forward. We were playing a very defensive set up now, but I thought every player on that pitch fought so hard. You know, everyone, you know, no, this is a proper team now. No, it's not a team of individuals. No one's out for themselves. Everyone there was fighting for the team, and it was just incredible stuff, really incredible to see. And like I said, I'm so proud of the performance. Going into this tournament, it really does give me belief that we can do it now, because we haven't just, you know, it's one thing to be able to have a really nice style of play really good attacking football, and just, you know, play the football everyone wants to see. But that, in that game, you know, how you win tournaments is you fight. Sometimes you have to fight, sometimes you have to scrap. You have to come through games like that. And in a game that so much was stacked against England, we come through it. And yeah, that's like by far well, it's one of the best England games I can remember watching. I think it might even be the best in terms of, like, the actual game. So the game just had everything. It was an unbelievable game, and it's a fight. That last 20 minutes, and there's so much added time as well. That last minute corner, the keeper comes up with Pickford, makes big saves, big challenges. We're holding on, and you know, by the time the game finished, it was like gone 5 in the morning, and it's just insane. But wow, we got it done, and you know, that made it worth everyone who stayed up, everyone who, you know, had to find a way to work around their life to be able to watch that game. And I'm so glad that I did. A fair play to everyone, all England fans that stayed up for that sort of put themselves out to be able to see that, and be able to experience it, and be able to be a part of it. Because yeah, commitment, and you know, it's the game being delayed an hour as well, and all of that, everything surrounding this game. It's just one of the most crazy games I can ever remember. It might even be, like, in terms of games I've watched in my life, that might be it's right up there. It's like one of the best games, one of the most crazy games, like a game that will live long in the memory for so many. But for me, that's a game I will never forget. That's a game I will that will be a great memory, and it'll be a great memory for so many people who stayed up in the middle of the night to watch it. For the people, the England fans that went out there, massively outnumbered by those Mexico supporters, you know, in that game, and you know, they were great. The England fans were there, were brilliant, and the whole game was just unbelievable. The atmosphere was unbelievable. It had, you know, it was scrappy. It had, you know, it was kicked off at times. There was, you know, we held on. It had great goals in though. Our counter attacks in that first half were so good, but Mexico, I'd have to say, did not give up themselves. And you know, it was always going to be a fight to the death. It was always going to be such a close game, particularly when, you know, it was. I think it was a game there was so much sort of hype around it. It could be one of the games of the tournament that I actually think even exceeded everyone's expectation. And I imagine from a mutual perspective that was, from an England perspective, like it was so. It was like pie in the mouth game, you know. But I imagine from a mutual perspective that was such an enjoyable game to watch as well. Now, of course, I'm going to be doing a video that's going to come up soon about that. Another really good game we saw with Norway and Brazil. Really impressive from Norway, knocking them out. That is now our next opponent. It will be Norway we play in the quarter-final. A team that also will not fear anyone. But I think we made a statement there after their fearless display against Brazil, knocking them out, proving they are not afraid of any challenge. They can stand up to any team in this tournament. I think we have just made a statement that sent a message to them as well, saying, yeah, neither are we. We ain't afraid of anyone. We can beat anyone. We can play in any type of environment and beat any team in any kind of circumstances. And, well, yeah, unbelievable. And I hope everyone enjoyed it. You know, it's very much a time to celebrate and just to look forward to what's to come. I mean, bring on the rest of the tournament, because I really, I think a lot of people really are starting to believe now after that. I think Tuchel yesterday as well, so impressed with him as well. You know, fantastic manager. I was so happy when he got the job, and I think this is why. You know, I think the perfect manager to have for tournament football. And yeah, bring on Norway. It's going to be another tough game. They're a really good side that are strong in all areas. But I think we've proven yesterday why we can do it. So much was made about this game before the game. A lot of people were getting fed up of hearing about it, but then there's a lot of people saying as well, no, this is a real factor. It can really affect things. The whole altitude thing in Mexico City. In fact, there's less oxygen. It's like, you know, it can slow down decision making. It can slow down your ability to run. All these things. And you know, they're the host nation. They've been playing it the whole time. Whereas, you know, you apparently need 10 days to properly adjust to it. We was there for 2, and like, you know, you have to, because of that, that team had to stay for like the least amount of time as possible. There's so many different factors surrounding this game, but that didn't bother the team. The team showed up, they played the game, and they dealt with the circumstances to come in the game that are unexpected. And I think that proven why we couldn't go away. And this tournament's been fantastic. The big teams have had to show different sides to them. We see France against Paraguay, Argentina even in that extra time against Cape Verde. But I think, you know, when you've got a whole other side to your game that we shown yesterday, I think that's a very good sign going into the rest of the tournament. So yeah, bring it on. That was incredible. That was an unbelievable game of football, one of the best I've seen, and what a performance from England. That's something we should be very proud of. So I hope everyone enjoyed, and come on England, bring on the rest of the World Cup. We can do this.